Welcome to episode 1 of the Holding It Down with G Health and Fitness show. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching wherever you're at. If you don't know, I am Coach Gerard Teague. I've been a personal trainer for 12 plus years. And I'm just going to share my knowledge, share my journey with you, share what's working, share what I'm doing, share what I'm seeing right now in the industry, give you research bites so you can hopefully take some things away from my journey and you can help include them and find your own truths on your own journey into health and fitness. So without any further ado, let's get started. Going straight into it. The thing that I've been playing with the most over the last 3 weeks that I'm the most excited about is definitely collagen. Okay, so had a little joint pain. My left knee was giving me some fits. Right knee always gives me a little bit of fits, especially coming out of the bad weather, the cold weather. Some pain in my hands right here. So just little small aches, things that happen, lifting weights, whatever, life, things that happen. So I finally have been doing a lot of research on collagen and I decided to buy some collagen. Over the last 3 weeks, I've been playing with it. I'm loving it, to be honest with you guys. I'm loving collagen. My nails, I feel like my nails look better. I feel like it works for skin. My joints are feeling better. They're not all the way healed up. It's not to the degree that I wanted it to be honest with y'all, but I'm loving it right now. So it's my first time using collagen. I'm using the Vital Proteins collagen. I got it at Sam's Club, actually. So it's a hack right here. Here's a hack for y'all. If you buy it at Sam's Club, you can get it for $32. Got a big tub of it. Been using it now for the past 3 weeks. It's going pretty good. I definitely recommend it if you are having issues with hair, skin, and nails. That's where I feel like I'm seeing the best benefits from it at. Other than my joints, I feel like that's where I'm seeing the least benefits from it at. I feel like it's working, but just a lot slower process, and joints can be really hard. But definitely hair, skin, and nails. I've actually have recommended it to a few clients now for loose skin who have lost a ton of weight to help them tighten up their loose skin. And I've said, hey, you might want to give collagen a go. I've been playing with it. I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what it's doing. So collagen, hair, skin, and nails, definitely recommend it. Something for joints, play with it. I got about 1 week left of the tub that I currently bought. After that, I'm actually going to try a different brand. So I'll let y'all know how that goes too here in the next 4 weeks. But this is something that I'm just going to keep probably hammering on this journey with collagen and just seeing what happens between myself and my clients, because it could be a game changer, especially when you lose a lot of weight. You end up with a lot of loose skin. So if it can help tighten up that loose skin, I know that's a big game changer. That's a huge game changer in the weight loss thing. Next, vitamin D. I've taken vitamin D off and on for a pretty long time now, but recently I just went off of it for about a year. And I don't know why I stopped taking it, but I started taking vitamin D again. And my energy has just been through the roof. It has helped with my energy production so much. So I've been taking 5,000 international units, so 5,000 IUs of vitamin D with K1 and K2. Now, I always recommend that people take vitamin D with K1 and K2 because K1 and K2, they're like signalers. They tell minerals where to go in the proper place. So that's why I always recommend taking your vitamin D with K1 and K2. That way the vitamin D actually is deposited in the right place instead of just going everywhere all over your body. So we'll have a deeper lesson on that too. I did not actually get a vitamin D test, so I don't know what my levels were before I started taking it. But probably here in a few weeks, I'm going to get my blood drawn and take a vitamin D test to see what my levels are at now. I personally am a big believer in having your vitamin D between 60 and 80 nanograms per deciliter. So that's just where there's a lot of research that when it's kind of goes to those higher levels, even 70 and starts to hit 80, there's a lot of benefits. And when you look at the research, what you'll see is pretty much everything goes down. I want to say heart attacks go down the higher vitamin D levels are. I want to say birth defects, fertility, blood pressure, cholesterol. There's a lot of studies on things just go down when that vitamin D is in a more optimal range. So that's something that I'm playing with. I will definitely get mine checked and tested because I think that'll be fun to put on the show in a later episode and just see how that goes and see how I feel as I keep my vitamin D in more optimal ranges year round. And just so that would be a fun one too. Next, what is going on? So I got to thank my wife for this next one right here. And it's on oatmeal, actually. So an oatmeal trick. So you're actually getting gluten-free oatmeal. So I called my wife the other day. I was at the grocery store. She asked me to pick up some oatmeal. And she was like, Gerard, make sure you get gluten-free oatmeal. And I'm thinking in my head, oatmeal is gluten-free. What are you talking about, babe? She's like, no, look at the package and it will say it right on the label, gluten-free oatmeal. And sure enough, as I'm looking at all the different oatmeals in the aisle, there were a couple of brands that had gluten-free oats, gluten-free oatmeal. And I said, oh, I can't believe it. It never hit me. And I'm over sitting here telling clients have oatmeal and it's crossed somehow with gluten in it. And what I'm trying to get them to do is take gluten out of their diet, and then they're probably having oatmeal thinking it's a clean carb source, and they're still getting gluten. And if you're still getting gluten, you're getting the negative effects of gluten in it. So long story short, I bought gluten-free oatmeal, realized that gluten-free oatmeal exists. I personally recommend that you buy sprouted gluten-free oats. The one that me and my wife went with is 1 Degree. It's a brand, you can find it in most health food stores, the 1 Degree sprouted gluten-free oats. And that's what I recommend that you use. I'm not gonna say I recommend that you use it, but that's one that me and my wife use. I know Bob's Red Mill, they have a gluten-free oatmeal as well. Those are the two brands I know that make gluten-free oats. But check those oatmeal packages. I had to learn the hard way. Man, biggest thing though that I'm most excited about is earlier this month, me and my wife, we decided to order ground beef in bulk. So 48 pounds of ground beef from Thousand Hills. I love Thousand Hills, all grass-fed, all organic. I love their mission. I love their values. It's a farm in Montana, I believe. Montana or Wyoming, I don't know. Y'all can fact check me on that one. But man, it is so nice buying the ground beef in bulk. So typically grass-fed, real good grass-fed, organic ground beef is going to cost you, it's going to run you about $7 to $9 a pound, depending where you live, where it comes from, whatever else, what brand you choose to buy. Buying it in bulk, $5.35 a pound. Now this is huge because ground beef right now at the store, just regular grain-fed, hormone-ridden, whatever, all the bad stuff in it. That's about $5 a pound right now. So to actually get high quality ground beef at $5.35 a pound is amazing. Now, obviously you're only going to get this if you order in bulk. And for some of y'all, you're like, what in the world am I going to do with 48 pounds of ground beef? One, put it in the freezer like me and my wife did. There's 5 of us. We have 3 kids. To be honest with you, we're going to be done with it in probably 6-7 weeks. Yeah, we eat a ton. Most of that is me because I meal prep a ton and I use a lot of dishes on my meal prep that have ground beef. It's just quick, easy stores. Future episode, I'll talk about that later in a future episode. But if you're looking to save some money on some meat, I highly recommend going to your local farmer. You can go to Thousand Hills like me and my wife did and just getting a big bulk order of grass-fed ground beef. Save a ton of money, get high quality meat, really high quality meat at $5.35 a pound, I think is what it came out to. And each one is in 1 pound packages. They're all vacuum sealed packages, so it's beautiful. It's as good as it gets, in my opinion. As good as it gets. Little swing over to training right now. So how's my training going? Share some insights with that. So back in January, about mid-January, I hurt my low back. I've had some trouble on and off my low back for a little bit of time. I'll go into another episode on what I'm doing for that low back, but pretty much it's been no squats, no deadlifts, totally out my program. So I've been, trying to train legs a little differently. One thing I've noticed, it makes it very hard for me personally to have size without having those two big compound lifts in them. And I don't deadlift a lot, to be honest. I wouldn't even say I deadlift once a month, to be honest with you. But without squats, my size, it's been really hard for me to have size, to stay big, to have more size on my legs, and just to keep weight on me, which has been a little struggle lately. But I'm doing a lot of lunges, a lot of leg curls, leg presses. I'm playing with it right now. Right now I have a low volume approach to training. So my training isn't that high volume. I'm really trying to get all my joints taken care of, trying to let everything heal, feel my best. So my training is low volume. So I've lost some weight just because the volume is so low and my calories have been down. They've probably been down to like 2,500. I took them back up this week, actually, on Saturday or Sunday. I took them back up to, I think it was Saturday. I've taken them back up about 3,500 calories a day. So I'm pretty much back to 5 or 6 meals, and I have been hungry. I've probably put on like 3 pounds since then. A lot of that being water weight, just food, more carbs, more water. My carbs are probably roughly 400 grams a day right now, and looking like I could even do more. So, just insights from my training. Y'all can follow along, see what it's like. I think a big part of why I'm able to handle so much food though right now, even though I don't have squats in there or deadlifts and the big lifts, and even though my training is a little more low volume, I think it's because of vitamin D, just to be honest with y'all. So, vitamin D, I feel like, is just working on so many levels for me. And I'll honestly say vitamin D and fish oil. I've been taking fish oil regularly too. I take liquid fish oil personally. So I've been taking about 1 teaspoon or 5 milliliters every day. I either do it in the morning or at night, just depending on my schedule. When I'm home, I keep it at home. But I feel like fish oil is just helping too. And it's helping me stay lean, even though my calories have went up. So I'll just let y'all know how that journey goes as well. I'm super excited about it, to be honest with y'all. Man, on another note, with training, my business, something I would like to say is wherever you're at on your journey. I've had a lot of clients, we're in April as I'm shooting this video. You get that January, February, March kind of, everybody's on it, especially January. Everybody's on it. Everybody's losing weight. Everybody's doing really good. January, February, everybody's hot. And then in March, they start cooling down a little bit, losing that consistency. And what you see is the weight is either starts struggling to come off, or it stays, or maybe sometimes it goes back up just slightly a little bit. And what I want to talk about is being consistent in your training. The things that got you to start losing weight, they have to stay. If you started winning in January because you put all those good habits in and you were winning in January and February, you got to keep them up. March, April, May, you got to keep it going so you stay going down on your journey. And I know that can get really hard for everybody. Life happens. We all, especially when we're doing really good, we have a tendency to coast. I think that's just a natural human thing. I have a tendency to coast. I think everybody just has a tendency to sometimes relax up and coast. But I rather people think about it in terms of I'm taking a week off or I'm breaking this week, instead of just starting to naturally hit coast. Think more long term about, I'm going to take a week. I've been doing good for the past 12 weeks or whatever. So I'm going to coast this week. Then next week, I'm coming back on it. I'm consistent. I'm hitting it hard again. And you can go 12 weeks hard, and 1 week and 1 month you can coast. I don't think there's anything wrong with coasting for a whole month, to be honest with you. But just remember to stay consistent. Remember, as you start to coast, how important it is just to stay on track. If you really want to hit your goals, you need to stay on track. And that actually reminds me, I've been making sure that I get my upper body workouts in, even though I can't train my legs as hard. And I don't bench press. I just don't do bench presses anymore. I've just hurt my shoulder too many times with bench pressing, so I've completely switched over to either dumbbell bench pressing. I do dips as well. So a lot of my things that I use to work my chest out is going to be dumbbell bench presses, dips, push-ups. I will do incline bench press. I've noticed incline bench press is better, so I do a lot of incline bench pressing. And the other day, I just happened to get under regular bench press, and I started going at it, started feeling pretty good, took a set of 10, and I took a set of 8, and then I started doing some 5s, and I actually worked my way up to 4 reps at 235. Now, this was actually my best bench press PR, honestly. I did it before years ago, 235 for 4 reps. So, and I matched it, which makes me really happy because I'm about 8 to 10 pounds lighter right now. And I actually got one of my best bench presses. I probably could max out at probably like 260 or something like that. And it just made me think, even though I don't do any direct bench press work, incline bench pressing, which is safer for me, has transferred over to a bigger bench press. So maybe there's exercises that you love. I mean, this might be the way that I might even go with squatting in the future. When I bring squats back, it might be front squats instead of back squats, and I just build a beautiful back squat, or beautiful front squat up, rather. And hopefully that will transfer over to just making my back squat better, because incline bench pressing, you're at an angle, so you actually have less leverage because you're pressing up, and it carries over to that bench press though. And what I've noticed is bench press, flat bench pressing, doesn't carry over to getting you strong in incline, but the stronger you get in incline, the stronger you also get in flat bench pressing. So whenever you work a muscle at a harder angle, you also get better at the weaker angle. Not as much as you would if you did it directly, but definitely more better. That's why I say I might go front squats, which might work for my body and be a safer movement and not hurt my back, but anecdotally getting me better at back squats, even if I never take a back squat again, while still strengthening up the muscles, which is my goal, to be healthy, to be fit. What else? It's my training. Oh yeah, big tip is rows. So what I've been having a lot of my clients do, and what I've been doing to get a lot more out of my rows, is pausing in that bottom position. So let me move this chair angle. So let's say you're doing a seated row. You got it right here. You're going seated row, squeezing and pausing in that back angle to get more out of my rows. And what that does is it helps activate those rhomboids more. And those rhomboids, they help us pull that posture back, putting us in better posture. So I've been doing this with all my rows, giving it a 1 to 2 second hold on it. And I feel it better, honestly. I feel the contraction better. I feel like my back is getting a better workout. I feel like it's getting stronger. Now, I've had to go down a little bit in weight because obviously I'm pausing. So I'm gonna have to go a little lighter. But honestly, my strength has, for the most part, built back up just by taking that pause. So if you want to get more out of your back training, I highly recommend taking that pause when you do that rep, boom, squeezing right here, pausing, then going. I've been doing this on seated rows. I've been doing this on my 1 arm bent over rows, 2 arm bent over rows, barbell rows, just getting that pause at the top. So when it's at the top in your stomach, pausing, get more out of your rows. Final note, one thing that I have learned this week, or one thing that it's been on my mind, on my heart, whatever, one thing that I've learned, and that's just to explore all the possibilities in something before you just say no to an opportunity or to a situation. You know, it's like, I feel like so many times just kind of be human nature. Let's say it's a car that we want. Let's say it's a Mercedes, and it's like, oh, that's a $70,000 car. There's no way I can ever afford that. But then you never even look into it to realize what it costs to actually obtain that. I think it's just human nature that sometimes we just don't always explore the possibilities. So that's one thing that I'm getting myself past is, what does it take? What does it actually look like to be able to have what I want in this life? And just figuring out. Some things might be like, oh, that's not for you or whatever, but I just recommend that you take the time too to explore the possibilities of something before you completely count it out in your life. You never know. Might be right there. Either way, hope y'all enjoyed episode 1 of my health and fitness show. I'll be back next week with more tips and tricks that I'm doing in my training, in my life, and what's going on.